Welcome to the breakdown, episode 612. You already know how it goes. Gemini still not sent me an actual ad with a real voiceover, so I have to go ahead and come into play here. Gemini credit cards. That's right, the Gemini credit cards. Have you gone to gemini.com/David G? Have you checked out the credit cards issued by WebBank? I don't think so. Well, some did. But anyway, if you haven't, Gemini.com/David G. Go and check out the site. You can get a Bitcoin credit card, 4% back. Okay. You can get a Solana credit card, 4% back in Solana. And then you can get the the XRP credit card, get 4% back in XRP. There you go, man. By the way, shout out to Gemini. They're at a Ripple conference today. I see them out there. Shout out to that entire team doing their thing. Anyway, Gemini.com/David G. Go check it out. Go Pointless. That's right. Go Pointless. You gotta love the marketing team at Gemini, man. You gotta love the marketing team at Gemini. Man, oh man, man, oh man. Let's look at this commercial one more time. Let's look at this commercial one more time. Oh, I'm laughing. Give me one. I just find it funny. I really do find it funny, though. Gemini, could you give me a better commercial? Like, I love the commercial. Could you give me the voiceover with it? I'm just asking, man. I'm asking for a friend. Hold on. Go and don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go live. Yes, we're about to go live. Man, I know I'm disappointed. I am disappointed in the results from yesterday. I am disappointed. Hello. How's it going? I am absolutely disappointed with we kind of knew like it was going to happen. I think anybody that obviously was looking at Polymarket and all the prediction platforms out there, the polling, it was obviously all leaning towards him. Mamdani is the new New York City mayor. That's right. He is your new New York City mayor. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how people voted for somebody who outright came out and said that I'm a socialist. And I don't know how somebody voted for somebody who literally stated like, hey man, like fuck capitalism. Socialism works, and which it doesn't. If you look at any other country, communist socialism, like Eastern Europe is full of that shit. You know it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's never worked. Okay, free doesn't work because somebody has to pay. Somebody has to pay. And now you're going to drive a bunch. I think a lot of people from New York City are going to leave. They will move. They will move. They might stay in New York. They might move to Buffalo. I don't know who the hell would want to move to Buffalo. But they might move to upstate New York. They're going to get out of New York City, bottom line. But that's also bad. Because guess what? People moving out of New York City. Okay, so the rich and the wealthy move their businesses and they move themselves out of New York City. But guess what? At the end of the day, people will still move into New York City. And then, like, now we have a third world country going on there. Man, such a great. Somebody played a video today of New York City back in 1993. And it was great, man. Like, if you look at 1993, that video clip, I think it was from Jack. I think Jack put that out there. A video of New York City in 1993. It was amazing. It was fucking amazing. Clean. Everybody's happy, dressed up in a suit. New York City people still rush, but everybody was just like, everybody was heading to do something. Now it's just, I don't know. The city isn't the same, man. The city isn't the same. De Blasio completely destroyed it. The Democrats have now, by the way, the Democrats, I'm going to tell you right now, Democrats are not winning another election. Okay? They're not, meaning like real seats. And I know people will say, what the fuck? Being the mayor and governor isn't real. I'm talking about they ain't winning the Oval Office. Okay? They're not, ain't no Democrat going to be a president for the next, maybe 2 decades. The Senate is going to be run by the Republicans, and so will the House. I really do believe that. I believe that. Okay, a lot of this shit yesterday with a lot of these, Democrats winning positions in blue states. Well, that happened to me personally because of the government shutdown, and a lot of people got laid off, and they went ahead and expressed their frustration. They were looking for something new. Wild. I mean, it is what it is, man. This falls on the Republican Party as well. This also falls on the Republican Party, the influencers, everybody. Everybody's not on the same page. We miss Charlie Kirk. I wrote about it today. We do really miss Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk not being in the picture right now, and God rest his soul, it's really caused a wedge in MAGA, and I can keep on going on and on about it, and I might on the list show. So, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm out. I want to give a massive shout out to everybody who tunes in, whether it's from YouTube or Rumble, TikTok, whatever it is. Am I losing? No, I'm not losing connection. It says I'm losing connection. Connection lost. Am I lost? Why am I lost there? Don't tell me I'm lost there. Man, please don't. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Hold on. Am I lost? I am lost here now. God damn it, man. God damn it, I'm lost. Hopefully this. Oh my God. This is what I was talking about. I wrote out a tweet or a post, excuse me, on thanking everybody who shows up every single day to watch me as I speak to some really cool guests that come on the show. We had in the last 2 weeks about 1.3 million people who tuned in from all the platforms. And that's without counting impressions, okay? That's not even counting impressions. So I want to say thank you to you guys. Appreciate you. That number, for me personally, that's a very, very low number. Is my connection on, or is it on? Is it back on? Is it really bad? Do I got to check it? Do I got to check if the connection is it still going? Is my connection still going? I need the chat to help me out here. Let me go ahead and look. Let me go ahead and look to see how my connection's doing, man. It's better now? Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, now it's better. Good. Thank you very much. Welcome to the breakdown, though. I didn't even get to say this. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 612. Okay, sponsored by Gemini. Click on the link. Click on the link. Share the link. Click on the link. Trade $1,000 in crypto. Get $100 in Bitcoin. GNN produces this show. I will talk about politics. Again, at the end of the show, 15 minutes before I end the show, I will touch on politics. I am disappointed. Like 100%, it's probably written all over my face. I am disappointed. I am. I'm not disappointed about buying the dip, though. When I went out there and said, I'd rather buy the dip than live with regret, which did, a post like that did like 3,000 likes and 100,000 plus impressions. Crazy. But a lot of people came into my DMs and said, hey, we need more of that, man. Dave, we need more of you, like positive. Like there's a bunch of negative people that are running around social media that make it sound like it's over. It's not over. It isn't over. We haven't started. I don't believe we started. We had Landy on here, and I talked to Landy about this. I believe we're just coming out of a goddamn bear market. When you really look at it, the institutions, they had their run. They had their run. Retail hasn't. Retail hasn't come back into crypto. Okay. I don't care whether or not you guys want to disagree with me or not on this topic, but I believe wholeheartedly retail's not here and hasn't been here. Okay. The people who got destroyed when Melania came out were just the people that were here from the last cycle. Okay. That's it. We've just rotated money that's been here. We haven't had the rate cuts that we need. We haven't had the printer go brrr. We haven't had, obviously, stimulus checks go out to anybody. We have 42 million people that have not received their SNAP benefits. Okay. And these people find a way to go ahead and get money to participate in the markets. I'm telling you, these people want to take a chance and bet on themselves. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You have a lot of things that are not happening right now, and yet look what are we at right now? $3.35 trillion market cap. We'll be fine. We haven't started. I wholeheartedly believe that we have not started. By the way, the only people that are losing, and I'm going to say this again, the only people that are losing are the people that are trading or playing with leverage. That's it. That's it. That's it. Government opens up, that cures the uncertainty. Okay, like people are uncertain about what's the fuck is going to happen. We have today, apparently, the Supreme Court is going to tell us whether or not the tariffs are going to stay, which is wild. But I don't think they're going to take that away from Trump. But that's wild that you have the Supreme Court that's going to tell Trump that he can't go ahead and apply tariffs on other countries. Okay, which are benefiting the United States of America. Long-term tariffs benefit the United States of America. Okay, we take in revenue. We bring back jobs to the United States of America. It's a hit short-term, but long-term we win. So crypto, for me, crypto is going to make a phenomenal comeback. Crypto will make a phenomenal comeback, 100%. 100%. I have no doubt about that. While everybody goes out there and they harp on the timeline about how bad it is and like how we're not going anywhere and how everything's going to crash, I don't believe that. Okay? That we're back in the bear market. I don't believe that. Even though I just said that we're getting out of the bear market. What I mean by that is I should call it the pause market. I shouldn't call it the bear market. I should call it the pause market. The markets are paused out waiting for Trump's real moves to go ahead and get implemented. That's what I mean by the pause market. We haven't really gotten out of that bear market. Institutions, again, they've run up Bitcoin. They will continue to run up Bitcoin. You have a chance right now to get into Bitcoin and not have any regret that you did not get into Bitcoin or Ethereum or even Solana when it was at its all-time lows. Okay? You can make money here. You can make money. Stop listening to people talk about dog shit. Stop sitting and listening to the fuckery every single day. It doesn't benefit you. Get into things that have value. Get behind teams and leadership that you know that's going to show up every single day. That's what you need to start doing. I talked to somebody today, like, hey, man, they said to me, Dave, you talk about memes, even though you're into the, all the utility protocols and stuff like that, but you talk about memes. And I go, it's only because that you have a lot of these utility projects out here that don't know how to articulate what the fuck they're building. Nobody here, most people here that come into this space, they don't understand coding. Like they don't understand C++, they don't know Solidity, they don't know Rust, okay? I can keep going on. They don't know what the fuck Python is, okay? They just want it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. That's really it. And I tell that to every single founder I speak to or any conversation that I have. We need to keep it simple, stupid. Memes are cool because they're relatable. Everybody can relate to a meme, okay? Real memes. I'm not talking about the bullshit that comes off of launch pads and the things that only last for 3 minutes. I'm talking about people who are actually building out these platforms. Memes, I'm telling you, there's a reason why Van Eyck went ahead and made a bet on memes and came out with a meme index. They're real. They're very real. Anyway, let me bring in. It is 1:16 p.m. East Coast on the East Coast. I don't know what time it is on the West, nor do I care. You know how it goes. You know how it goes, my East Coast, West Coast beef. The East Coast hip hop scene got a better catalog than the West. We already know that. Anyway, let me bring in Andrew from Nobody's Sausage. What's going on, Andrew?
Hey, David. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to have you here because I want to talk to you about. I gotta talk to you about Nobody's Sausage, man.
Yeah, you just led me in on that meme spiel there, so I'll let you ride. I'm ready to go.
When I saw it, when I first saw it, and I don't laugh. I'm not one of those people that. There's one thing about me. I'm Eastern European. We don't laugh at anything. Like it's just like, just dead. You could crack if you crack a bad joke. Like we ain't laughing. I seen Nobody's Sausage. I was crying. I literally had a bottle of water, and I think I was whether eating or drinking. I seen it out, and it was, I guess, during the fight.
Crawford. Yes. Yeah.
I seen it, and I said, "Holy shit, this is fucking funny. This made me feel something." Yep. And then I saw like Gemini mess around with it. Gemini is the sponsor of my show, and I was like, "Okay, hold on, let me look into this." The shit that you guys have put together, it is good. It is good. Let me give you a round of applause. I either love your projects or I hate them. If you ever, I don't know if you've tuned in, Andrew, but like, if I don't like something, I'm not blowing smoke up that ass. But this is good. What you have going is good. Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you like it. I think you hit the nail on the head. You were talking about meme tokens earlier. Like, it is stupid simple. Like you've got to just have this like empathetic sort of feeling that someone, the moment they see it, they laugh or they get it or whatever. And I think, the meme tokens that are successful, they impute that like culture, right? It's not just a meme. It's something that people understand. Like, and you said all that before I got on here, but it's exactly what you just described in your own experience with Nobody's Sausage. And to throw flowers the right direction, I'm the CEO of the studio that runs the property. Gael Cabral, he's the gentleman who actually built this up on his own for 5 years, just slugging it on socials and telling his jokes. Single artist with 35 million followers and 1 billion views per year. So, but it resonated, and it's like such a great application case for meme tokens too, because the culture is so strong.
I was watching it and I'm like, this shit is gonna hit. Like
it does.
When more people see this, it's funny. Like whoever's creating the scripts and putting together even the 15 to 20 second clips, like I'm like, this is it. Like you automatically know, like this is going to be a hit. I can see like a cross collaboration with like Pudgy Peng. I can like, there's so much. I mean, like y'all figured it out. Congratulations! Another round of applause. I'm usually not like this, man, but when I like something, I mean, all right. So the guy sits down. What was his name again? I'm so sorry. I don't mean
to. Gael Cabral.
Gael? Yeah. He sits down. Like, why the sausage? Like, did you ever ask him like why the sausage?
He's a motion graphic designer, and I think one night, like in 2020, if I remember correctly, he was just messing around with like different literal like pylons, if you will, like the shapes that become the sausage, and he just like stuck 5 of them together, did a little dance, like one of those like TikTok style dances, and I think he just went and posted it like same night, and the first video just like blew up, right? And then he was like, oh, I'm just gonna keep doing this, and one thing after the other. And this is a guy, by the way, man, like he sees a trend or he's got an idea that's hilarious, and he's just like pedal to the metal, doesn't sleep, gets it done, right? He's just like, and that's super important on socials, right? Because trends come and go super quickly, right? So he hits it like on the nail all the time. Aside from his own humor, that's hilarious, and he's always working at it. So, but yeah, just the confluence of messing around on one of these, softwares for 3D.
By the way, because you're the CEO of like 9 companies, can you elaborate on? Because I got your team sent my EA like a whole like he's the CEO of everything. So like, can you break that down so like I know a little bit more of like what you're running here?
Yeah. So CEO of Hibu. We actually announced this studio last week, or the week before last week. Sorry. So the IP that sits. So we're basically a studio that is building IP, entertainment IP, social media, digital first. That's the social media side. It's the Web3 side. It's all the things that we know so well, and translating that into like these bigger franchises and brands. So the first brand that this grows out of is Claynosaurs, which is an NFT collection on Solana. We did another one on Sui in the summer that now has a mobile game coming out, a TV show coming out, and it's on franchise rails, if you will. And then Nobody Sausage enters the fray earlier this year when Gael, because of Claynosaurs, kind of reaches out to us and says, dude, how do I do this? Like, how do I translate this really kick-ass brand with mega following into like real fans, right? Because flicking on social media is not really the same thing. So Nobody Sausage kind of, we helped them out at the beginning, and then after they launched the token, really jumped in with a real partnership, and now that's underneath the studio. And then behind that, we've got other properties we're working on, and a larger sort of DeFi platform for the entire sort of intangible asset class that goes unaddressed in traditional Wall Street and fundraising terms. So it's really those two plus a few others and the platform.
Oh, just that, guys, just that. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 612. This is interesting. This is very interesting.
I do have a team of 40 people, right? So there's a lot of us here.
A lot. So is it? Let me ask you this question: is a token coming with this, or?
Yeah. So Nobody Sausage has got its meme token, and I can drive into how that is going to work and what we're working on there. But then all these other properties, so Claynosaurs, and then the other ones we're working on, will have their own tokens. And the simple principle is, the fans that make you exist in the first place, right? Like without our early fans, in the case of Claynosaurs, that's our holders of the digital collectibles NFTs. Without those folks, then we wouldn't have social media success in that brand. We wouldn't have mobile gaming partnerships with mega partners or a TV show or the opportunities to do those things. It's basically an acknowledgement that in today's world of content media overload, the fans, especially the early fans, actually drive real economic value into the property. And so the simple thing is we are going to give actual economic value, that is equity inside of the underlying property, back to those folks who have participated and make those brands so big. And so that'll apply itself to Claynosaurs, that'll apply itself to new brands, and that'll apply itself to the older brands that kind of come out of Hibu at the platform level.
Are you so I'm going to just name out Pudgy Penguins here. Are you going to also use your IP to create obviously things that you can go ahead and put into, let's say, a Walmart?
Yeah,
I don't want to say Kmart. I don't know why Kmart came into mind, but a Walmart, obviously some real stores that kids go to go ahead and beg their parents to go ahead and buy them something.
Yeah, 100%. So you can see behind me, I got a couple of plushies on the Clayno side. And then the approach to like where you retail those things and where you sell them, we've got a strategy that is sort of coincident to where we're at in our life cycle. That is to say, today we're collector centric, we're Web3 centric, we got social media following, but we are working on a mobile game and a TV show that will hit a different audience. That's more to the people you're speaking of, like the kids who want to, drag their parents to Walmart to get a toy. So right now, and we've got, I don't want to say we have those deals in the pipe, but we've got the opportunity to do deals like that. What we're going to do and what we are doing is launching, collectibles and physical, collectibles and toys, merchandise that hits the audience we have today. That's predominantly collectors and a more mature audience. And so we've done pop-ups in the last month in LA and Korea, and we've got a whole bunch of people on that team working on things in those markets. And then when we do launch that show, which is sort of slated for mid to end 26, alongside.
Is it on a big streaming platform, or is it just like you don't have to tell me? But is it?
You're smashing the alpha in the face here. So actually,
you don't have to answer. No, I'm just asking.
It's okay. Look, it's we're self-financing the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So typically, what you do is you have a big partner that will, like a distribution partner, like you're describing. They'll finance it, and then therefore it goes onto that platform. What this does for us is we self-finance it, again, empowered by our fans and the fact that we're big enough to do that. It means that we could do whatever we want. So we've had conversations with I'm going to say all the streamers, but many of the ones that everyone would know, alongside traditional TV and stuff like that. So we have a distribution strategy that is that can be any of those things. So it could be on streamers. Honestly, the best way to do it in our perspective is most people today, especially for that audience, like you said, kids, and it's kind of like a 10 to 12-year-old property, they're on YouTube, man. Like, so we're like, we want to go on YouTube and have the audience see it, right? Like, go out, see it on YouTube. That's where people are engaging. And in the same way that gaming gives you the game for free, and then you buy the skins and you buy stuff afterwards, it's the same principle. Like, introduce that content widely. Sure, you can monetize on YouTube, but you don't get a big check from Netflix on day one. But it gives you the opportunity to really monetize the property in a more feasible way with a longer term growth prospect. And it doesn't prevent you from still doing things with Netflix, with Prime, and so on, who might want to do an offshoot of the show, or like, so you still have that optionality. So ultimately, that's the strategy.
I think it's. I can't believe it. I think it's going to win out. Again, that's nobody's sausage. That it makes me fucking laugh.
Nobody's sausage is a whole other strategy too, right? Because that they're the ironically what everybody in Web3 is after, right? You've got a meme token, right, or an NFT property, and now you're like, how do I translate this into the real world? Like, how do I get it to be big? And like, if you, the Pudgy's example, put toys in Walmart, people will find them. Great.
Yeah.
In this case, you've got this is the biggest social media, the biggest character brand on social media. There's nothing bigger than this when you look at vertical. Like,
well, I wanted to ask you this before I cut you. Well, I'm cutting you off.
Go ahead, do it.
35+ million followers. How the fuck?
Dude, it's the same reason. Is your experience of everyone? People have felt that as well, right? Like, I want to see more of this, right? Like, it makes me laugh. You hit follow, right? And that's what everybody wants in Web3. That's what we want at Klena, right? We've got 1 billion views total and almost 1 million followers, but 35 million and 1 billion per year is a whole different thing. So that's the great irony, is that everyone has a meme token that's predicated on this degree of like culture and community. I think a lot of people take that for granted. Like, it's not, you don't just build culture because you're cool or because you're funny for a minute. Culture is, through the passage of time. And what we've got with Nobody's Sausage is culture, and it resonates with a lot of people. The only question is translating those people back into this Web3 ethos and environment. And I think it's the environment part that's the tough one that we solve for, which is just building a user experience that isn't Web3, right? Like, get people into the token, but through an avenue that makes sense to them. Most people aren't going to just say, I'm going to buy a meme token, right? The average Joe, the 35 million followers we're talking about. What they will do is say, hey, I love Nobody's Sausage. It would be cool if I bought this product or that product, or
it's every time when you say it, it's just like I'm just laughing because like you say no, I don't know, maybe it's a
and you told me you didn't laugh, David. Where's the Eastern European?
I really don't. Like, you can watch plenty of my podcasts. Like, it takes something that's funny to make me fucking smile or laugh. I mean,
we're gonna do a David laugh audit, make sure that it's true.
You
anyway,
should.
The point is, getting those people in is a matter of giving them what we love in Web3. You want to hold on and own something, right? Like, we like to own NFTs and show them off. In the real world, the same version of that is your Nobody's Sausage and Louis Vuitton purse. It's the bag hangs that you put on your school bag or on your purse. It's the things that people want that are tangible. You make those sales and you translate that back into a token environment where the person doesn't even realize they have a token. They just got this like really kick-ass community utility proposition. And it's additionality to that purchase. You get 35 million, if not more, sticky people inside of the system. And it's just a matter of building that user experience, which we do have people who have built brand experiences for Louis Vuitton, Nike, and Apple. And we do have developers who know how to do that. So we're working on all that, coupled with the biggest social media brand, which, by the way, man, everybody wants to work with these guys. Like, I've been on the route with Klenosaurus. Like, getting the Walmart deal is possible, and we can do that, and we're going to do it. For Nobody's Sausage, I can call whoever I want, and they're going to do something. Everyone wants this distribution channel. So just a matter of doing it, but building out that platform to translate back into the token. And it's like nobody's bigger than that.
How did the Crawford thing come about? Like, were you guys sitting around? Because that's like, you're going to spend money on that. Like, I don't know if you're expecting ROI on it, because like that's something like long-term ROI. Right. That doesn't, it's not instant, right? And you have to be able to support whatever. I don't even know and don't want to know how much it costs, but at the end of the day, it was a good ad. Like, the way it was put together, it was good. I mean, definitely top notch.
I'll touch on the cost without giving the numbers, but yeah, to your point, it's a longer-term ROI like proposition, as is most brand building. But basically, someone from our community, like Klano / Nobody Sausage community, gave us a call like a like a Tuesday. This is like the Tuesday before the fight was on like a Saturday, and so this is like a week plus 4 days or whatever that is, 5 days. And they were like, hey, like, do you want to put Nobody Sausage on the shorts of like Terrence Crawford for this fight? And we're like, what? I know boxing, I follow boxing, but I wasn't super aware of it. I'm like, why? Who are they fighting? Canelo Alvarez? Like, what the fuck? Like, so we get into it. Like the very next day, we're on the phone with the agent and all this stuff, and the opportunity popped up at the last minute because one of the existing sponsors got X'd at the last second, because it just kind of like, it was outside of the policy of what they were doing from an advertising perspective. And so this was just like an open option. So from a cost perspective, it was like, if you can do it, and like we needed to basically like sign contracts, get all like the logos approved and everything within like 12 hours. We just went pedal to the metal. Everyone stay at the office. Let's do. But this is what is empowering by having a studio. We're just like boom, boom, boom. Let's go. And we ran on it really fast. We married that to like a social media campaign with Terrence. We still talk to Terrence to this day. There's still tons of things that we might do with them. And yeah, but it's, it came up at the last minute. We got it at like, call it a discount price. But that's because also you got to move fast. And typically if you wanted to do that whole social media campaigning and all that stuff, you would probably start it earlier, right? You'd probably go like from a couple of months, earlier on and really build into it. But, so you lose some of that. And then also for them, it's an X. Like they're like, no one's ever going to buy this with a 1-day turnaround. Like who's going to get the sign off and have the money for that? We could do it.
I'm just saying, like, I think you brought a lot of people, definitely, you brought a lot of attention to yourselves by doing that. 100%, because I noticed, right? And I'm not, you really got to nail it for me to notice. I'm in branding and marketing as well. It's just like, I saw that, I was like, wow, this is dope. Like what they, whoever did this and put this together, they were thinking here. So I respect
it because you're in the business. So then you'll know, like, in isolation, especially in crypto, it looks like a one and done. But this is like a pillar, and you're kind of building a fence. So there's another pillar coming and another pillar.
Correct.
But you got to have the initial one. Right now in Web3, everyone's skeptical. Like, oh, that was the thing, pump and dump, whatever, right? Obviously, that's not what we're doing. So it's like, that's a pillar. We're building that fence. The next pillar comes and the next one. And we keep doing, that's how you build the brand out, right? So, like you said, partner with Gemini, partner with these other, Web3 brands, Pudgies, et cetera. That's filling in the fence. They have these other big momentous things. We got a bunch of those in the pipeline. So, build them out, but you got to have the first.
Do you, by the way, episode 612, sponsored by Gemini. Speaking of Gemini, sign up to Gemini, trade $1,000 in crypto, get 100,000 Bitcoin. Some of you guys need it after the shit that you've gone into. I am joined here. Andrew's laughing. Andrew from, he's the CEO. I'm calling him the CEO of everything, but we're specifically here. Obviously, I was very intrigued by Nobody Sausage. I'm laughing because somebody's gonna clip this up, and I know you son of bitches, and I know how you're gonna clip it up. But after I seen Crawford walk out there, I was like, this can lead into, obviously you can have a commercial on, do a spot for him like that. Then whoever else you decide to bring in, it'd be really cool. I know, whatever. I'm just putting it out there. It's kind of like I was thinking when I seen it, I was like, oh, you could do so much shit with this. This is like its own little ecosystem. I'm sure Clay will do well. I seen Clay, obviously. When did Clay come out? I know it was years ago. It's not like...
So Claynosaurs, we launched November 2022, literally 2 weeks after FTX collapsed. Okay. But with, as much success as you could have in that environment. So we've been around for a while.
Solana's been good to you, right?
Solana's been great. I mean, we love Solana. We did a lot of things on Solana. We did the Popkins collection this summer. We did that one on Sui, just exploring the tech. Again, going back to the same principle. Like, there's billions of people that are never going to kind of jump into this, like, I'm going to educate myself on this crypto stuff. They'll just participate because it makes sense in terms of that, like, surface level user experience. So, we push out onto different chains. We kind of explore different things in that regard, knowing that the predominant majority of our fans and users are all going to be just normies, so to speak.
Your end goal, though, like, respectfully, I love Web3. Like, I've been in crypto, I feel like, forever. I love this place. But the end goal for your business is to get the fuck out of... No, you could be in Web3, but to get out of it. I mean,
no, like, zero. Not at all. Not at all. Totally wrong. No. So
hold on. You want to stay in Web3 and not also be in Web2? Like, how
I think I think you're making it sound like two different things, and I just don't think that's right. I mean, I think it's
like
right.
So let me elaborate quickly.
Yeah,
The reason why I say that is because a lot of projects stick in Web3 and that's it. They
right.
don't have aspirations to get out of the bubble because like it's easy. Okay, you're here. You've
Yeah, yeah.
cemented your place here. Okay. Are you trying to get into the centralized world to showcase your products and especially you guys that have a hell of a lineup?
Yeah, I think so. What we're trying to do is capture more fans, more like build bigger brands for the real world, right? Or for the world in general. And I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. The Web3 tech and that whole tech layer, it empowers actually that what kind of like decentralization, better governance, even like the payment rails and what you can do from a structural perspective without having these laborious sort of like bank accounts and all this stuff. It's really empowering for a startup, right? It's like you can do things. Even the advent of ownership like Nobody's Sausage, like all of these things are great. So we're going to continue building on those rails. And everything I've described to you is only possible with Web3 rails, right? Like that advent of giving equity to the people and measuring fandom and all of these things is always possible in Web3. So what I'm really saying is you got to abstract away what Web3 feels like today, depending on what you're doing, right? If you're doing DeFi and it's like, heavy trading and that kind of stuff, well, that might hit an audience that is predominantly like financial people and they can absorb and understand like how Hyperliquid works or whatever, right? But for like entertainment, right? Having these brands operate and benefit from all the tooling in Web3, it's not a matter of you're not abstracting it away. You're building on top of it and just abstracting it that way. So the people in our existing communities who know what tokens are, NFTs are, and the principal understanding of those things and all of the trading platforms and available tooling to use those things in different ways, they'll continue to have that option. But to get in the billion views that Nobody's Sausage has every year, by example, the idea that people are going to educate themselves and come in here is incorrect, right? Like they will come to better experiences and platforms that empower them to do more relative to their current options, right? So Hibu is like a fundraising fan platform that nobody could do if you don't have Web3. It eclipses Patreon, it eclipses Kickstarter. On a long enough time horizon, it's bigger and better than YouTube and Netflix. So because it's decentralized, right? So all of those things are necessary to be built on Web3. The only principle is that user experience can't be what you and I understand it to be or what we know it to be because we're tech curious guys that are here, right? But most people aren't. But the benefits, the ultimate altruistic benefits, they exist for everybody. Everybody wants to have a fair shot at putting their hat in the ring and having the next big franchise be themselves or be built by themselves. That is not an option that exists. Everybody wants to have a meritocratic system where they can raise capital based on merit. That's not the case. It's gate kept everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to participate and own part of a brand that they've contributed to as a fan. But you can't do that in the traditional system, but you can on Web3, right? All of these things are principles that people would love. And like I said, when you apply them into that environment, it's no competition for the existing platforms. It's you win.
You tried. By the way, I'll give you a round of applause on that. No wonder he's the CEO. He could take the questions. Andrew, last question. And by the way, I appreciate you coming on. And I'd love to have you back on, let's say in a month or two, just to go ahead and like really get into like everything in the lineup. I'd love that. And I'm sure you guys will have more things that come out, so it'll be easier to go ahead and just like dissect the shit. I want to ask you, multi-chain, being that you spoke about Sui, is that the thought process moving long term to be multi-chain or no?
I think the thought process for us so far, like in the same spirit, we were on Sol, when ETH was popular, like that's where the Clanisters launched. Then we did our next collection, like this summer, like I said, on Sui. The idea is not to be multi-chain for the sake of being multi-chain. The idea is finding the technology that best suits the purpose, right? So that's improving these entertainment experiences. It's improving, like I said, this like sort of DeFi platform that I described that is Hibu. It's meeting that end, knowing that the end is actually this abstraction. So if underneath that on the Web3 layer, you have multiple chains that are plugged in, that's fine. As long as each one's empowering the best possible outcome for what it's trying to achieve. And I think that's what is most important. And that's basically what we're doing. So it's not multi-chain for the sake of being multi-chain. It's really exploring the tech.
I fucking love that. Finally, not just to be multi-chain, so we can come out to the community and say we're multi-chain. Now what?
Well, consider this, David. If you go on Netflix today, Do you ask yourself, oh, I'm not going to pick that movie because it's on AWS server 3?
No, I don't give a
No,
fuck.
dude, that's what I'm saying. No one gives a shit. And this is the same thing, like, Web 1 to Web 2. Can anyone explain what Web 1 to Web 2 is? I mean, maybe you and I can, but most people can't.
Yeah, but most can't.
Yeah,
Most don't even know what Web3 is. I mean,
I was going to say the same thing.
challenging.
There's probably people in Web3 that can't explain the difference between Web 2
Correct.
and Web 3. And that's not a slight, but that's the whole point. No one actually gives a shit. They just want to have better shit. Like, they want better stuff.
Well,
right?
it's what I always say. It's Andrew. It's like people come here. It's the same thing. Like, and I use this analogy a lot, but it's like Instagram, right?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about how you went ahead and developed it. I just want to use it. So
Right.
it's like same
Exactly.
analogy. Whereas like nobody really cares if it's on AWS. Yeah, like I've just tuned in to watch a show. So
And that's
no,
it.
I like the fact that you're not just going to do multi-chain. Okay, just because you want to go ahead and say, look what we did. Like there's a real purpose behind it. Maybe some developers that watch this and replay this might want to go ahead and tune into that specific message. Like you don't need to be everywhere unless there's a reason to be there.
Right.
But I do appreciate you coming on. You guys got some. You're cooking. I'll say that you guys are cooking, and I hope because I really do support every developer, or I should say, any team that's actually out here developing. I do love to support that shit because, like, I want to see this space build out and go to new levels. And you guys are putting in the time, and I definitely appreciate that.
Thank you, David. I appreciate the kind words.
Thanks a lot, guys. I will put. I couldn't get your handle. Everything I tried to I couldn't at you, but if you can send me your
at the bottom at Andrew Sorp.
Send it to my DM so I can go ahead and put it in so you guys can follow him and the entire lineup. I'm gonna put all the handles out for the entire lineup so you guys can go ahead and give them a follow. Seriously, it's good stuff. If you've never heard of it, just check it out. Trust me. If I'm laughing about it, I'm almost certain you guys will too. Andrew, thank you so much for taking the time out, and especially to your team for making it happen.
Thank you, man. Great having you.
Have a great one.
Cheers, brother.
That guy, Andrew, man, I got to tell you, wears a lot of hats there. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 612. I seen that commercial. Okay, I seen that commercial, and I started fucking laughing. I was like, this is not some shit that you get off of Fiverr, at least not in my eyes. Like this is they got a studio developing, they're putting money into stuff. You gotta love that shit. You gotta love the developers in this fucking space. We gotta give a lot more attention and a bigger platform to people that are actually developing here and trying to take Web3 to the next level. Seriously, I'm gonna give another round of applause on that one. Like, we have to do this. But we'll be right back after this non-voiceover commercial break by Gemini. That's right, Gemini. That's right. Loving this ad. Love this ad right now. Loving this ad, right? We love this ad. No voiceover. I am the voiceover. That's right. That is right. I am the voiceover, and we have a lot of people tuned in right now. And we are going to be right back after this commercial break with Vic, who is the creator of Cake Wallet. That's right. But right now, what you're watching is a commercial without any voiceover from Gemini. That's right. They sent me an ad with no voiceover, so I'm doing it. Check out, go to Gemini.com/David G. Go check out the lineup of credit cards issued by WebBank. You got the Bitcoin credit card, 4% back in Bitcoin. You got the XRP credit card, 4% back in XRP. And you got the Solana credit card, 4% back in Solana. Guys, go check it out. Go Pointless. That's right. Go Pointless. All right. There you go. I'm back. I'm doing voiceovers now. It's not enough that I got the podcast going. Excuse me, the live stream show. And then the podcast coming out. Got a lot of shit cooking. Okay. Media appearances where they tell me I can't curse, and I still curse. I don't care. I can't hold it back. I've tried. It doesn't work. Anyway, it is 1:46 p.m. on the East Coast. Nobody cares about the West. And speaking about the East Coast, let me bring in that's a longtime friend. I've known him for a while, man. Let's bring him in. Vic, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Sorry, somebody just came here.
No, it's okay. Hey, this is live.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you and I have known each other, what, 7 years now? And
7 years. 7
finally,
years.
I mean, I remember we came out with Cake Wallet and you reached out promptly, so I appreciate that. And gone back and forth, lots of ideas and things, but I'm glad this worked out. Thanks
Yeah,
for
for
having me
sure.
on.
As soon as the first person I thought of was you, because you had all these privacy tokens, especially I would say Zcash.
We don't have Zcash yet. We don't have
No,
Zcash yet.
no. What I'm saying is like
Oh,
Zcash was the talk, right?
oh, okay, yeah.
And people started talking about it on social media. There's been more, people have talked about Monero and stuff, but like
Yeah.
you've seen what's happened in the last 2 weeks. People are really out there talking, and I'm like,
Yep.
man, I gotta get Vic on here, man. Vic has
Yeah.
been here for so long with Monero, like creating
Yeah.
things that obviously you're big on privacy. So what are your thoughts right now that people are actively talking about privacy coins?
I think so. I mean, I think I pissed off some Zcash people on Twitter last few weeks, questioning the pump. But that shouldn't be related to me questioning the tech. I'm still a massive fan of the Zcash tech, and of course Monero. So whatever the pump is, I think it's good for privacy coins. I think it's bringing attention to privacy, and what is it? People are going to look at it and say, "Hey, why is this coin pumping?" And other ones are following. Monero's pumping. What other ones? Decred is pumping. Some other
You
privacy
have
coins are
Dash. You got
Dash pumping. Yeah, exactly.
Verge is moving a bit. As of
Yeah.
today, I think I saw Verge was moving. But okay, so let me ask you this, because like this is all my shows are unfiltered, and like you
Yep.
don't have to answer either, but because a lot of people have asked me also, it's like where does this where did Vcash come from? Like why is it all of a sudden pumping the way it is? I mean, like, what are your
Well,
thoughts? I mean,
yeah.
if
So
they're gonna harass you, they're gonna harass you at this
yeah,
point.
I'll get beat up for this answer from somebody. But Zcash has been around for a long time,
Yeah.
but there were some problems with it where the privacy community didn't like, and the biggest thing being is the trusted setup. And they got rid of that through the Halo 2 or Orchard, whatever they call it. So that's been fixed, right? So Zcash is a different animal than it was a few years ago. So that's one major thing. Second thing is there was really no good wallet for it. And I'm gonna shill another wallet, maybe a future competitor, but that's fine. There was no proper wallet for it, and it was difficult to use, difficult to get privacy. For example, with Monero, privacy is always on. If I send you Monero right now, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to shield it, unshield it, or hide it or unhide it. I just send it to you, and it's private by default. You can choose to reveal that transaction to somebody if you want, but it's 100% up to you. So I think one of the problems with Zcash was, how do you shield it? You had to download a desktop app. There was no mobile. Um, what good is tech if people can't use it? I was
Yeah.
just on another live podcast about an hour ago, and I said the same thing. What good is tech if people can't use it? So I think with the launch of their wallet called Zashi, and that makes it very simple for a total non-techie person to acquire Zcash, to trade for it, and shield it, and it automatically shields it. Which 5 years ago, when we were going to put Zcash in Cake Wallet, that's one of the things we were going to do as well. So maybe all these reasons, it's gaining attention. Um, uh, I questioned it being a inorganic pump. I got
I was
attacked.
going to get to that. Do you
I got
think it's
murdered. I got
do you think
murdered
there are
by
a lot of
people. Yeah,
influencers behind it, and that's the reason why it's moving right now the
it's
way it is?
yeah. I mean, it seems like 2-3 months ago, some influencers started talking about it all of a sudden and simultaneously. Does that prove it's a coordinated pump? Who knows? Should we talk about it? Yeah, why not? It's a hot topic. Let's talk about it. Some people get
Yeah.
upset to just even bring it up. But I mean, that's Twitter, right? That's X. That's the crypto space. You're not going to please everybody. But just focusing on the tech. Yeah, I think they made an improvement. I mean, one big thing I've heard from even Zcash insiders is that dev tax, right? 20% of all mining revenue goes to some centralized entity. I know a lot of people don't like that. Monero people especially don't like that. Um, but if you look past that, it's a good coin. But overall, it's good for the privacy space.
That's where I was leading to. So is
Yeah,
regardless of what people might think out here, is it good that, okay, you might not again, I don't know, there's all speculation, obviously
sure.
speculation, right?
Hmm.
But with it moving organically or non,
10x.
it's still, yeah, I mean, but it's still it's now people are looking at Monero, right? Now people are
Hmm.
looking at the privacy space. I mean,
Great.
it's bullish, right?
Right. It is
Regardless.
definitely. It's definitely bullish.
Has
I
it
mean,
brought more attention to Monero? Because listen, I've had it for forever, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
has it brought more attention?
I don't know if it's brought more attention to Monero, because if you look at transaction, I was just looking at this yesterday. Last 24 hours, Monero had 26,000 transactions or something, and shielded Zcash had like 2,200. Um, one argument could be, well, maybe people aren't transacting, but they're just using it to hide their wealth, using it as store of value. Okay, maybe that's the case. But whatever the reason is, even if 90% jumped in on the pump and 10% stay for the tech, it's worth it.
Okay.
So if it was a pump and you're listening, thank you. It'll in the end, it's a good result. I mean, if it is a pump, are some people going to get hurt? I hope not. I hope that doesn't happen. But maybe most of the people see value in privacy. But I don't know if you saw my tweet this morning. I think privacy was a subject that people were going to come to eventually in the crypto space. As more and more people get into Bitcoin and want to use it, they're going to start seeing, hey, wait a minute, if I send my Bitcoin, people are going to see my balance, people are going to see my transactions, and we've done things in Cake Wallet to minimize that through, silent payments and PayJoin.
Well, that's a
We,
big thing, Vic, because
yeah,
like as much as I love Bitcoin, it goes against everything
yeah,
in terms of like the privacy issue.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I mean, like nobody's trying to hide it. Like, legitimate people aren't trying to hide anything.
Right.
So when I say privacy, I'm like privacy in the fact that I don't think anybody wants anybody to know how much they have on chain. Like it's just like that's not
So
we can't have it where the banks are safer.
right. So
You know, you
I
get where I'm going with that. Like the banks are safe.
definitely,
I can put my money in the bank. You don't know how much I have. Yet
exactly.
somebody can find out my address and okay, now they know hypothetically speaking, I have $1 million,
So people
and now I
practice
become
it,
a target.
right? People practice it outside of crypto already, right? When I send you an ACH payment or whatever, PayPal, Venmo,
Yeah,
Wire, whatever, SEPA, if you're in another country, you're not seeing my balance. You're not
correct.
seeing my transactions. And if I knew you were seeing my balance, I probably wouldn't want to do it. So so I put it in that frame to people that you're already practicing privacy in the traditional finance. Why shouldn't you get that same level of privacy in crypto? Because it is money. You're using it for transactions to acquire goods and services, the same way you're doing with traditional fiat money or electronic fiat money. Um, so yeah, I think people are already doing it. So it's not something that has to be special.
Correct.
Yeah, we should ask and demand for the same type of transactional privacy.
A lot of people that I speak to, they're like, whether it's Zcash or whether it's Monero, because those are the two topics now. Like,
Hmm.
respectfully to Dash and Verge and stuff, and anybody else in the privacy sector, I'm just saying these are the two that come up. These are the two, right?
Hmm.
And my thing is, the thing I want to ask is, the first thing that comes to mind, or the first comment in the conversations are, well, this is everything that Bitcoin was supposed to be.
Hmm.
And a lot of people are like, for instance, before even Zcash took off, they were like, well, Monero is everything that Bitcoin was supposed to be.
Hmm.
These are actual, by the way, these are actual conversations where they're like, this is exactly what it is. I mean, there's a reason why they came after Monero and put a bounty on it to try to go ahead and crack it. I mean, like,
Right, right.
but this is, and obviously Hal talked about it. Bitcoin forums, I can go all the way back about, you know, they wish they could have. I think they wish they could have
So
implemented some sort of, privacy
yeah,
shield onto the Bitcoin network.
right, right. So I think it's a little nuance there. Maybe that's not what Bitcoin was meant to be. Maybe it's
Okay.
what people expected Bitcoin to be, right? I mean, in later writings, you could see Satoshi Nakamoto talking about, hey, we probably need to add privacy to this someday.
Yeah.
So that was already, that if he would have stayed on, would that have happened? Who knows? Um,
But can they do it
y-
now?
yeah, of course. I mean, anything is possible if the Bitcoin community, I assume a hard fork would be required, but I'm not technical enough to answer that question. But Zcash, unshielded Zcash is basically Bitcoin. It's the
Yeah.
same code and everything, right? So you could incorporate Zcash's shielding tech into Bitcoin. Um, would the community go for it? I don't know. Would I know
Well, it
hard
took them
forks and things
13
like
years
that
to
are
get
real?
Taproot in. I mean,
Exactly.
Taproot took 13 years. So, like, by the time they vote on that and, figure it out at multiple conferences, I'll have gray
Yeah,
hair. So, or
exactly,
no hair.
exactly. And a lot of people say that. I mean, Bitcoin maxis, I hear that a lot. Well, Bitcoin will have privacy. Like, okay, it's great. I hope so too. But until then, you do have tools that you can use, even in Bitcoin, like silent payments and PayJoin that I mentioned
Yeah.
earlier. Um, so but we live in a multi-coin world, right? I'm a Bitcoiner, like you. We got into Bitcoin, whatever early means. I don't even know what that
Yeah.
means, but
Me either.
yeah, knows what it means.
Early now could have been like,
Yeah,
early could have been 6 months ago. I don't know. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I'm 2013, and I still feel like I got in too late.
Yeah.
So, but we live in a multi-coin world, I feel. But at the same time, we're gonna work on bringing privacy, like to Bitcoin, like we did to Litecoin, like we did with bringing Monero into Cake Wallet. We are going to bring in Zcash. I know the Monero community, some members of the Monero community don't like hearing that, but if we're going to call ourselves a privacy-focused wallet, I think a lot of the criticisms of Zcash they've taken care of, except the dev tax. But I think. But overall, to your original question, this is all good for the privacy space.
I mean, you've worked on Cake Wallet for a very long time, so I don't think the community should, respectfully, like, feedback is great, but like
Hmm.
ultimately, like, they know what the mission is. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is all about privacy, and
Yep.
here you
Privacy
have
and self custody. Yep. That's
an
our
Epic
goal.
wallet. I've always said that you have an Epic wallet,
Thanks,
and
man. Appreciate that.
again, the first person I thought of when everything was happening in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I'm like, I got to bring on Vic to talk about everything that's happening, and especially I want
Yeah.
to talk talk about Monero because I think it's very underrated. I know,
Yep.
listen, it got flipped. I don't know where it is right now in terms of
Yeah.
price point,
Yeah.
but
The
to me,
market
it's
cap
like
got flipped. Yeah.
it's a no brainer though. Respectfully to Zcash, I mean, you can have everything. I mean,
Hmm.
it's decentralized, right? You can do whatever you want. It's your money. For me, it's like if you don't have Monero, I mean, like that's wild. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
just to me, it's a no brainer, and like we've been talking about this for years. Forget about just
Yep.
months, but for years, it's a no brainer to have to hold
It's
Monero.
been
So
it's been the privacy coin, exactly. And with the upcoming upgrades in Monero, like full chain membership proofs plus, or I don't know how many pluses there are now on top of it. It's going to get rid of the weakest link right now, which is Monero as a ring signatures. And I know a lot of critics like to jump on that. It's the weakest link, but it doesn't mean it's weak, right?
correct.
It's like saying a Ferrari is slower than a Lamborghini. Doesn't mean it's slow. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean
Correct.
it's slow. It's just slower. So it's not weak. It's just weaker compared to bulletproofs and stealth addresses, which Monero have. So I'm glad to see the Monero community really work hard on fixing that. People like Luke Parker and Justin Berman and Jethro and some other people um, are working on that, and I'm really excited about that because that's just going to make Monero even better. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, you don't hear me? I just want to
Oh, now I
say
hear you.
I'm happy that I got you on, especially on this topic. Uh, check out Vic. We'll have more conversations with Vic. But check out Cake Wallet. Go check it out. I'm telling you, it's a really good wallet. I still got the shirt from 5-6 years
Yeah.
ago. All right, I
That's
got the
great.
old
That's
logo.
great.
I got the
You
I
got
got the old
the
school
OG
logo. Okay,
logo.
the
Cool, cool.
OG. That's right.
Save that. That's going to be worth some money someday.
I like the background. I like the office. I like everything. I appreciate you, man.
You got to
And
come by here. You got to come by the office sometime.
gotta invite me, man. I seen you at
Yeah.
the Gemini event. I think you were at a Gemini event, right?
Yeah,
There
yeah,
was
yeah.
something about.
The launch,
Look,
the
look,
IPO launch. Yeah.
look at this. This is great. I have today's guests will somehow, some way, are all connected with Gemini. It's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gemini. Good people at Gemini. Only have classy people at Gemini. But looking forward to talking to you more about, obviously Monero, Cake Wallet, and all.
Great, great.
Thank you, Vic. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Guys, that is the CEO and founder and creator of Cake Wallet. Like I remember not a lot of wallets out there for holding like privacy tokens and stuff, especially Monero. And here comes Vic and he creates Cake Wallet. And this is going back 7, 8 years. I don't know. Like I said, I got the old school t-shirt. Okay. I got the old school t-shirt. And Monero, it's I don't know. Like if you're not holding it, it's crazy. That's all I can say. If you're not holding Monero, it's crazy. Look, I'm a market participant in the free markets. So you know, Vic mentioned that hey, it could have been it might not be an organic pump or whatnot. Here's what I'll say. At the end of the day, one thing that Zcash has done is put attention back on privacy, which is necessary. Okay. Privacy is necessary. And I keep on saying this, and I've said this for years. It is really necessary. Bitcoin needs to take a look. The devs need to take a look, okay? Because it does make you a target. It really does. Okay. It does. If somebody knows your net worth, if I already said this multiple times, if somebody knows your net worth, you're a target. You are a fucking target. You're sitting in your car at a red light, you're a target now. Okay, somebody's been watching you for weeks, They know every single move that you make. They know which corner store you go to. You're a target. Okay. So that's why I think, the Zcashes, the Moneros, the Dashes of the world, the Verge. Shout out to Verge. I mean, these things work in your favor. That's it. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 612. The Breakdown 612, sponsored by Gemini. That's right. GNN produces the show. I tweeted today numbers for the show, and in the last 2 weeks, I'm not even counting this week, but in the last 2 weeks, 1.93 million viewers all across channels without impressions included. So that's a big one too. Have tuned in to the DG brand. That's what I call it, right? They've tuned into the DG brand to watch me, and I appreciate that. For everybody who continues to follow me, again, we're getting we're almost 100% there, but we're not there. Okay, 80% of the stuff that we're doing is up. 20%. We're working on it. We got some really cool and dope stuff coming. I really think that you guys will love it. I think the feedback that I've gotten in the last 2.5 weeks has been like, man, I really enjoy your show. The guests enjoy coming on here. We have a lot of people that have come on here and they message me afterwards, or they say it live on the stream. They're like, hey, like, this is a fucking great show. I know it is. I know it is. You know why? Because I know what I bring to the table right now. This is how I'm feeling. I'm underrated for the first time in my life. Actually, no. I've always had a chip on my shoulder because I think I've always started somewhere and I've always been underrated. And then just give me some time because I put in the effort. I'm willing to grind and I'm willing to go 300% and I'm willing to run through walls. And eventually I will crack that damn wall and I will break through. Okay. And if I have to make my own table, I will. So, okay. One of the greatest podcasters for crypto is an underdog. That's fine. I'll take that. Even with my numbers, I will go ahead and take that. You know what? In the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going for 7 million. Okay. 7 million viewers on all social media platforms. Then I'm going for 10 and then 12. But it's not just for a number. It's because I want to bring everybody together, okay? And that's always been my mission since 2016. Anybody who's been watching me knows my mission has been to bring everybody together and bring value to the table. Now, some might not see the value that I bring to the table, and that's fine. That's fine. Some people like Fox, some people like CNN, some people like MSNBC. Okay, that's your choice. But to me, I'm going to bring the people together the way I always have, okay? I took a 2 to 3 year, I don't want to say break, but I've been babysitting for 2 to 3 years, but I'm back. Yeah. Like John Wick would say, I'm feeling like I'm back. Okay, I am back. And you know what? You got a son of a bitch here that everybody knows that not only knows crypto, but knows politics and sports. And you could talk to me about any subject and I'm right there. And passion, you ain't gonna miss passion or energy with me. I'm lit up 24/7 every single day. So what's up? What's good? Okay. What's good? I like conversations. I like having conversations. I'm interested in stuff that I don't even know. Like I sometimes I'll bring on somebody and I don't know half the shit about the thing that they're going to go ahead and talk about, but I'm interested in sitting back and asking some questions and listening to them talk about it and explain it. Okay. In layman's terms. We'll be right back. I'll have my take on the election right after this. Again, this is the Gemini commercial, no voiceover, just me talking. But you know what? I think they want me to talk over this commercial. You know why? They want that New York accent. Bitcoin credit card, get started right there. Okay, point your phone at the screen. Well, you could have pointed your phone at the screen, but for those who will replay the show, point your phone at the screen, okay, and go look at the Gemini credit cards. But no, actually, don't do that. Actually, go to gemini.com/David G, okay? Okay, you guys need to do that more often. Anyway. We had some good guests on today. Andrew from the CEO of everything. That's what I'm going to say. Andrew is the CEO of everything. But he was on here talking about nobody sausage. I don't know why, but I think it's, look, I'm laughing every single time I say it. I think it's fucking funny. I think they're going to do very well with that. Clay will do well. They got a studio. They got an in-house studio. I think 100% they do absolutely phenomenal with that. I might have to look and maybe get like an NFT or something. I got to do that. I got to do that. They sold me on it. He actually sold me on it. I like CEOs that just don't fucking agree with me on everything. I like when, you know what? I like when people come on here and just like, they're willing to have the conversation. They're willing to do it. I love it. I fucking love that. And they're willing to open up. Okay? These other podcasts are boring. I'm sorry. Trying to have a convo here, man. Well, where are you from and where'd you start? Well, I started delivering papers when I was not, like, what the fuck are we talking about, man? Let's get right to it. Get right to it. Shout out to Vic for coming on, Cake Wallet. Okay. Want to hold your Monero or any privacy tokens? Go ahead and look at Cake Wallet for that. He's been at it with Cake Wallet for years, man. He's been at it for Cake Wallet for years. Okay. Episode 612, sponsored by Gemini. Okay. I told you guys. So I'll say this. Let's start with crypto and move towards politics. Everything is going to be perfectly fine in crypto. Okay. I believe wholeheartedly we are coming out of some sort of pause market / bear market, and we are going to hit one of the most amazing runs that we have ever seen in our lifetimes, that we have ever seen in crypto. I fully believe that's going to happen. Nobody listens to me, but it's okay. That's fine. You shouldn't listen to just you listen. What I want you to gain from this is you can listen to me, but don't do the things that I do. I just click buttons, but at the end of the day, take what I say or take what somebody says, put it into your goddamn AI machines, okay, and process it, and then figure it out. But I'm just saying, man, like, I really do believe crypto, and especially on the alt and the meme side, it is going to go absolutely apeshit, okay? It is going to go absolutely apeshit. I don't care what anybody says. I know that's going to happen, okay? I just know it. It's in my nuts. I feel it, okay? So right now is your opportunity. Look at the market. Don't get scared away. Look at the market. See what's undervalued, okay? And try to accumulate as much as possible. Even your conviction plays. If you got a conviction play, why wouldn't you be DCAing into it? Why are you chasing any of these other things? DCA your plays. It's the best strategy. Spot DCA. That I would tell you. Spot DCA. As on the political front, this is what I really do believe. I believe this. Charlie Kirk's loss is bigger than I expected. After last night's results, I fully believe if Charlie Kirk was not assassinated, New York would have had a chance, or we would have had better direction. We would have had better direction. By the way, so people might chop this up and think I'm getting at President Trump. I'm not. You know how I feel about Trump. I'm a MAGA guy, America first. Love it, okay? Trump saved the United States of America, and I will stand on that. He saved the United States of America. Okay? He's not even a year in, and we're so much better, in a better place than we were with Biden, and Biden wasn't even the president. Okay? Some random people were just running around with a signature. We all know that. Charlie Kirk's loss was huge, and it's devastating. I think it's devastating to the Republican Party. And now, here's the problem. They're trying to push somebody to replace him, and you can't replace him. Not yet. And I don't think he'll ever be replaceable. You can have somebody that could articulate and have a debate or a conversation like him, but you can't replace him. So when you're forcing people out there to replace Charlie Kirk, people ain't feeling it. And then there's the division within the MAGA party itself, which, if it continues, it will destroy the Republican Party, okay? Which will lead to the Democrats taking back the Oval Office, the Senate, and the House, okay? And then every little governor positions and mayor spots, that will happen. That will absolutely happen. Stop fighting. Like, the Republican Party, the MAGA movement needs to stop fighting. Period. I can understand this. I don't like money going. If you have this position, because I see this a lot on social media, I don't like money going to Israel. I don't like money going to Ukraine. Okay, no problem. Let's have a conversation about these things. Let's be smart about these things and have a conversation. When you put this out there, you are showing that there is a wedge that is sitting right there in MAGA land. You guys, Candace Owens and all these other people went out. Nick Fuentes, he went out talking about not to vote for Trump, or being against Trump, or they don't believe in Trump. You got some people that say that Kamala would have been the better choice. What is wrong with you guys? The infighting has led to having somebody like Mamdani sitting right now as the next mayor of New York City. If we would have been focused for the last year, maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't have had to beg for Curtis to step down, and we would have had an actual person, an actual candidate to go toe-to-toe with Ohana. I'm just saying. Maybe it's time to start collaborating. You know, a lot of you guys sit there and just complain. But a lot of these real true MAGA guys are out there grassroots marketing. So anyway, that's how I'm feeling, man. I really feel like there needs to be a special fucking meeting where everybody aligns and gets onto the same page so we can make America great again. Because can you imagine? We have a socialist in office now. Can you imagine? Free buses, all this bullshit. And by the way, all the billionaires that are now sucking up to him, you've showed your true colors. You're not Republicans. You're absolutely not Republicans, okay? To scream on social media, we must go ahead and vote for Cuomo, and then this guy wins, and now you're up his ass, Bill. That to me shows like you're not really Republicans, man. You're not even party members. You're just buying people so you can have access to things. That's it. But that's capitalism, right? That is capitalism. That's capitalism. But I'm just saying that's the situation we're in now. But here's the bright side, ladies and gentlemen. These were blue states, and blue states like New York, the mayors, de Blasio, anybody, Eric Adams, and now him, they were all Democrats, except this guy's a socialist. What you see in New Jersey, they're a blue state. I don't know. New Jersey loves high taxes, so they keep on voting in people that go ahead and give it to them. And the woman that won yesterday, she ain't even from New Jersey. That's just weird. Virginia, that's not unexpected. Of course it's going to go blue. The government shut down. The Democrats have played this right. The Democrats have absolutely played this right. They have kept the government shut down, and they knew by keeping the government shut down that they would almost certainly win everything that I just named. Especially in Virginia, because what? People got laid off from their jobs. People are not getting money. They're working, not getting a paycheck. Hey, people are going to go to the ballot boxes and have the voices heard. 100%. The voices will be heard. So I hope that like midterms coming around, that we start taking this shit seriously. We need to take it seriously, or we're going to lose a lot of seats. And then what happens? Once Democrats have enough seats, we're fucked. Trump's not going to be able to do shit. And you're going to have a government that does nothing and a bunch of shutdowns, and it's just going to be horrific. It's time. It's time. It's time to like come together, put aside some of the differences. We're not going to agree on everything, but it's time to realize like we need to be together in order to continue to win and rebuild America. That's right. We need to rebuild America. It's time. It really is. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in, from YouTube to LinkedIn to TikTok to Rumble to Twitch to Kick. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's only going to get better from this point on. More guests are coming on. We got a lot of things booked out. A lot of cool people to talk to. And I really can't wait. And I know I bring that conversation. Okay, I'm getting rid of the 45 soon, and I'm putting on the 23. A lot of partnership requests as well. If you're looking to partnerships at Gokhshtein.com, partnerships at Gokhshtein.com. You can go ahead and send your emails, inquiries there, and somebody will get back to you. The DG show. The DG, man, I've been waiting. I've been waiting 2-3 years for this. I'm back. I'm feeling I'm back. And on that note, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'm going to use this line from my boy Akil Patterson, a.k.a. Big Ung. Hope you have a great day and an even better tomorrow. And that's right, folks. You can get yourself a Bitcoin credit card from Gemini issued by WebBank by going to Gemini.com/David G. Also, check out the XRP credit card and the new Solana card. You get 4% back in Bitcoin, 4% back in XRP, and 4% back in Solana. Again, Gemini.com/David G. Go check it out. Terms apply.